Welcome to Have You Read It? The channel where we bring books to life, one summary at a time. Today we're diving into The Creative Act, A Way of Being, by the legendary music producer Rick Rubin, with Neil Strauss. This isn't your typical how-to guide. It's a profound exploration of creativity as a fundamental aspect of the human experience. Rubin invites us to see creativity not just as a skill, but as a way of being in the world. This book is unique because it doesn't offer formulas or step-by-step instructions. Instead, it provides a series of reflections and insights designed to awaken your inner artist. It challenges the notion that creativity is a rare gift, arguing instead that it's our birthright. It's valuable because it can unlock creative potential, regardless of background or artistic experience. The core theme revolves around tuning into the universe's creative energy, breaking free from self-imposed limitations and embracing the journey of creation with openness and awareness. Rubin starts by dismantling the myth that creativity is reserved for a select few. He asserts that everyone is a creator, engaging in the act of creation daily. He says it is not exclusively related to making art, but involves bringing something new into existence, be it a solution to a problem or a fresh perspective. According to Rubin, we create our own experience of reality by filtering information and curating our world. He sees living as an artist as a way of perceiving and paying attention to the subtle notes around us, guiding our choices with attunement. The universe is in constant creative unfolding. Rubin views artists as translators, drawing down information and sharing it. He emphasizes the importance of sensitive antennae, which many artists develop as a means of self-protection. The signals we receive are energetic and intuitive, defying logic. To access these signals, we must create open space in our minds, free from the usual clutter. Children, with their uncorrupted eyes, are naturally better at this. Next, Rubin discusses the source of creativity, which isn't internal. Rather, he describes it as an inexhaustible offering that's always available. These ideas circulate energetically, combining in novel ways each time. When something resonates deeply, it could be the familiar returning in an unfamiliar form. Turning an idea into reality makes it seem smaller. The work exists in both the limitless imagination and the physical world. Awareness, according to Rubin, is about noticing without attachment, allowing things to reveal themselves. It's not something you force but actively allow, accepting the present moment. Analysis comes second. Pure connection happens first. Cultivating awareness expands the universe. Each person has a vessel within them, constantly filled with data. He says that this information is filtered, and the filter inevitably reduces source intelligence. Stories and beliefs are formed, shaping our worldview. As artists, we should hold these stories softly, making space for information that doesn't fit neatly. He describes creative work as taking elements from this vessel and representing them. He states that source makes available, the filter distills, and the vessel receives. The instrument is you, and through you, the universe comes into focus. Rubin moves on to the unseen world. He explains that the act of creation is an attempt to enter a mysterious realm, a longing to transcend. Art serves as a portal to this unseen world, and the spiritual component provides wonder and open-mindedness. He equates spirituality with believing in connection or magic, emphasizing that these beliefs carry a charge. According to Rubin, the practice of spirituality involves seeing a world where you're not alone. You can harness energy and trust the direction without needing to understand it. Material for our work surrounds us at every turn, woven into conversations, nature, and existing art. Artists should look for clues pointing to new methods or ideas. Rubin says that these transmissions are subtle but ever-present, and deciphering them is integral to the artist's work. He suggests that the more open you are, the more clues you'll find. A practice is the embodiment of an approach. He argues that widening one's scope allows for more moments of interest to be noticed and collected. When we repeat the exercise of opening our senses, we move closer to living in a continually open state, building a habit of expanded awareness. Artists should take notice of the cycles of the planet and choose to live in accordance with its seasons. Connecting to a greater whole. He advises to deepen your practice and to submerge yourself in the canon of great works to calibrate your internal meter for greatness. We don't mimic greatness, but experience it to level up our taste. Exposure to great art draws us forward, opening doors of possibility. Nature, however, is the most absolute and enduring of the great works we can experience. Wisdom is awakened within us through communing with nature. Rubin also discusses how nothing is static. He says that the world is always changing, and even seemingly static elements reveal newness when looked at deeply. He believes you can't step into the same stream twice because it's always flowing. Focusing on what's going on inside ourselves, sensations, emotions, thought patterns, reveals a wealth of material. Our inner world is as interesting as nature itself. He recommends accessing the subconscious for new material by utilizing a process where the psyche has admittance to a universal wisdom, deeper than what we can come up with in our conscious mind. Artists can try anger-releasing exercises or keep a dream journal. Inspiration is always out there, regardless of how much we're paying attention. Rubin then explains the importance of setting. While isolated places are good for receiving transmissions, busy spots can help you tune in to the collective consciousness. He mentions it's better to follow the universe than those around you, and it helps to turn down the voices in your head. Self-doubt is a common voice, and it lives in all of us. It's there to serve us, and the imperfections are what make each of us and our work interesting. Making art is not a competitive act. There may be a need to deepen your craft to fully realize your vision. Still, your desire to create must be greater than your fear of it. By accepting self-doubt, rather than trying to eliminate it, we lessen its energy. Rubin then discusses the importance of overcoming insecurities. He says that the best strategies involves lowering the stakes. Start from the position that there is no right or wrong, and creativity is just free play with no rules. It's easier to submerge yourself joyfully in the process of making things. Perfectionism gets in the way of fun. He mentions another approach is to label the insecurities. Gratitude can also help by realizing you're fortunate to be in a position that allows you to create. Distraction can also be one of the best tools available when used skillfully. When we reach an impasse, it can be helpful to step away from the project to create space and allow a solution to appear. Collaboration is also key. He states that the more we pay attention, the more we begin to realize that all the work we ever do is a collaboration. Our thoughts, feelings, processes, and unconscious beliefs have an energy that is hidden in the work. Remove intention and all that's left is the ornamental shell. Rubin says there is only one intention, which is the grand gesture of the work. Our work embodies a higher purpose and are conduits for the universe. Every innovation risks becoming a rule. He suggests holding every rule as breakable is a healthy way to live as an artist. And loosening constraints promote a predictable sameness in our working methods. In the same way, for any rules you accept of what you can and cannot do as an artist, it would be worthwhile to try the opposite. There are no shortcuts. He goes on to say that it's through deliberate action and repetition that we gain deeper insight. Impatience ends up taking more time and using more energy. When it comes to the creative process, patience is accepting that the majority of the work we do is out of our control. The book then moves to beginner's mind. It states that the impossible only becomes accessible when experience has not taught us limits. Innocence brings forth innovation, and a lack of knowledge can create more openings to break new ground. Rubin describes the importance of inspiration. For the lungs to draw in air, they must first be emptied. For the mind to draw inspiration, it wants space to welcome the new. The same principle applies to everything in life. We commit ourselves on behalf of this offering, even when it arises at an inopportune time. As you start creating effective habits, each habit might seem small, but added together, they have an exponential effect on performance. The goal is to live your life in the service of art. The more set in your personal regimen, the more freedom you have within that structure to express yourself. For both the artist and the athlete, the details matter, whether the players recognize their importance or not. In the seed phase, we are completely open, collecting anything we find of interest. At this stage, we are not comparing them to find the best seed, we simply gather them. Collecting seeds is best approached with active awareness and boundless curiosity. Having a specific vision of what a seed will become in this initial stage may cut off more interesting possibilities. In the experimentation phase, we're cultivating each seed, much as a gardener creates optimal conditions to foster growth. There's no right way to experiment, and nothing is at stake. The heart of experiment is mystery, and we cannot predict where a seed will lead or if it will take root. We focus on the flourishing and wait to prune. The ancient Chinese alchemists searching for immortality mixed saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal, and they discovered something else: gunpowder. As seeds are starting to develop, Rubin says we should follow hints of excitement. And there is a natural reaction of enthrallment in the body. Now, as a clear sense of direction has arisen, we often, unbeknownst to us, find ourselves in the craft phase. The lines have been drawn, and now we're filling in the colors. The craft phase is not just a building up, it is also a breaking down. If several directions seem captivating, consider crafting more than one experiment at a time. Switching to other projects will engage different muscles and patterns of thinking, and these may shed light on paths otherwise unseen. There are also times when a single seed has so much power that you choose to focus on it exclusively. Crafting contains a paradox. To create our best work, we are patient and avoid rushing the process, while at the same time we work quickly without delay. During the craft phase, you can experience the phenomenon known as demoitis. To avoid demoitis, unless actively working to make something better, avoid listening to it, reading it, playing it, looking at it, or showing it to friends. One of the key goals of art isn't to attain perfection. The goal is to share who we are and how we see the world. Rubin mentions that our point of view doesn't have to be coherent, and it's rarely simple. Long after a work is completed, we may look back and understand our true point of view in it. Rubin expresses the importance of breaking the sameness in order to refresh your excitement in the work. Creating small steps, changing the environment, changing the stakes, inviting an audience, and altering the perspective are great ways of doing this. In the completion phase, with a beautiful volume of material crafted before us, the final form is refined to be released into the world. Often as you collect feedback, the solutions offered may not always seem helpful. Before discarding them, take a moment to see if they're pointing to an underlying problem you hadn't noticed. In the end, you are the only one who has to love it. In the abundant mindset, a river of material flows through us. When we share our works and our ideas, they are replenished. The artist is free to release them with the faith that more will arrive. Each mindset evokes a universal rule: whatever we concentrate on, we get. Living in an energized state of creative momentum, free to make things, let them go, make the next thing, and let it go. Rubin classifies artists into two categories: experimenters and finishers. He recommends each might find it helpful to borrow from the other. Experimenters are partial to dreaming and play, finding it more difficult to complete and release their work. Finishers are the mirror image, a backward reflection. Many of the thoughts and concepts in this book can and should be treated like temporary rules. There is also a place for imposing rules, and for using rules as a tool to define a given project. It could be more beneficial to set a palette for each project, and to view limitations as opportunities. In our work, it is also important to seek greatness by creating our version of the beautiful, and bringing all of ourselves to every project, whatever its parameters and constraints. There is no valid metric to predict what someone else might enjoy than us liking it ourselves. Consider it an offering, a devotional act, that we make for no other purpose than creating our version of the beautiful. We can be pleased and ready to let go. Rubin sees to move forward as an aspect of success that happens when we finish a work, share it, and begin a new project. Success has nothing to do with variables outside yourself. There should be no second-guessing our inner knowing to attempt to predict what others may like. Our best work will never appear. Instead, we as artists should connect and detach. Instead of sinking into the pain of heartbreak or the stress of being laid off or the grief of loss, try practicing detachment, like experiencing these events as if you're watching a movie. A rising of energy in the body may create a calm, invigorating confidence. A well-done piece of art is one of genuine feelings, joy, awe, or elation. It is an arising of the ecstatic. Once we know that the true work is an expression of who we are, it makes competition absurd. Great art is an invitation, calling to creators everywhere to strive for still higher and deeper levels. Rubin advises, in addition to all this, to remember our essence and all the work we do, no matter how intricate, holds an underlying essence. There may be exaggerations in our field. As an artist who may have role models, keep in mind apocrypha, or the stories of what methods created specific works may be fictional. Therefore, our focus should be self-awareness. If a sudden block has occurred, this could be an indication that are tuning out undermining voices. Rubin says to pay attention and be in the present because a whisper out of time could change everything. We are dealing in a magic realm and nobody knows why or how it works. The most rewarding part of our creation is being the work that we are excited about. Alright, let's distill some key takeaways from the creative act. Everyone is a creator. Creativity isn't just for artists. It's a fundamental aspect of being human. As Rubin puts it, to create is to bring something into existence that wasn't there before. Whether it's a conversation, a solution to a problem, or a work of art. Tune in. The universe is constantly broadcasting creative energy, and it's our job to tune in. Think of yourself as an antenna, drawing down ideas and transmuting them into art. Awareness is key. Cultivate your awareness to notice what's going on around and inside yourself in the present moment. The ability to look deeply is the root of creativity. Embrace self-doubt. Self-doubt is natural and can even serve your art. It's the imperfections and vulnerabilities that make our work resonate with others. Experiment without attachment. Lower the stakes, play, and experiment without being attached to the results. The best work often reveals itself through joyful exploration. Break the rules. Rules are limitations. Don't be afraid to challenge conventions and break free from what's expected. Here are some actionable insights. Practice awareness daily, noticing the subtle details around you. Embrace beginner's mind, approaching tasks with childlike curiosity. Experiment with temporary rules to break creative patterns. Listen actively, suspending disbelief and fully receiving what others have to say. Trust the ecstatic, following what excites and energizes you in the creative process. In closing, the creative act, a way of being, is more than a guide. It's an invitation to explore the depths of your creative potential. Rubin's wisdom encourages us to embrace the journey, trust our intuition, and find beauty in the process. So pick up the book, let it challenge you, and most importantly, let it inspire you to create. Remember, creativity isn't just about making art, it's about living artfully. It's about perception, paying attention, and tuning into the subtle notes of the universe. Embrace the creative act as a way of being, and watch as your world transforms into a canvas of endless possibilities. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next book dive.